So you want a Huawei phone in 2023, but you simply can't buy what Huawei has right now given that their new phones either lack 5G or Google support. Well, here's Honor making a comeback, but not under Huawei anymore, but as an independent brand. With that said, all new Honor phones now carry both 5G and Google support while keeping the familiar Huawei look and feel. And so I have the latest Honor X9a 5G mid-range phone from the company. This phone costs 16,990 pesos and that gets you 8GB and 256GB storage. There's no other variant other than this one, and I think that's fine because I personally think you need at least 8GB RAM in a phone like this while giving you some storage headroom for the next few years since this phone has no microSD slot. Also, at this price, you get a curved AMOLED screen with 120Hz, and not just any curved AMOLED. Honor claims it's the quote-unquote smartphone with the strongest screen. You have probably seen videos of this phone around testing the durability of the screen with drop tests and even nut tests. I'm not going to do that here since I still plan to do a few more videos after this, but the gist here is that the screen is reinforced, thus making it more durable than regular panels. Other than the impressive durability of this phone, the X9a is also sporting a 6.67 inches AMOLED with 120Hz refresh rate, 800 nits of brightness, and support for 1 billion colors thanks to an 8+2-bit format. Compared to 10-bit, the 2 is basically emulated to reach 1 billion colors. Not that it matters to most people, but regardless, this curved display is sharp, bright, colorful, and simply a joy to use. And for someone who has used Samsung's Galaxy Note 9 for 3 years, I definitely miss the curved edges. It's like any curved phone in the past, but what I noticed is how well the palm projection works. I was so used to adjusting my hand position to prevent missteps, but with the X9a, I can operate it with one hand just like a regular non-curved phone. The bezels around the screen are impressively thin at this price point. Although the actual space occupied by the 16-megapixel selfie camera is small, apparently Honor didn't mind a black circle that makes the sensor appear bigger than it actually is. So completing the premium, high-end feel is the slim body featuring a plastic frame and what seems to me a plastic backing as well, but thanks to the matte finish of this emerald green variant, it's really hard to tell whether it's plastic or glass. There is no headphone jack here, which is unfortunate because the South Firearm speaker is below average for the price you're paying. However, you do get a decent in-display fingerprint scanner and a 40-watt charging brick out of the box, so charging the 5000 mAh battery from empty to full will require a little over an hour. I have to hand it to Honor for the incredible battery life the X9a delivers. I have played games, captured photos and videos, watched streams, and set the refresh rate to 120Hz all the time, left the Wi-Fi active for 48 hours, and I still recorded with 8 hours of screen time and 48 hours of standby time on Wi-Fi. I mean, with all the phones I've tested, this is low-key one of the best thin phones with the longest battery life in 2023. But what about that performance? Well, for a Snapdragon 695 chip, this one performs impressively. Given this is a new phone, some popular titles like Mobile Legends only support 60Hz for the time being. But the gaming performance of the 695 is definitely more than enough for most people. The only thing I wish Honor added is a dedicated app library for all the games and the feature to disable notifications during games, a feature I heavily miss from Xiaomi. As for Honor's Magic UI, that's still based on Android 12, it's kinda like a rebranded version of Huawei's UI, except some Huawei exclusive features aren't available like Huawei's intelligent collaboration, or you could connect this Honor phone to an Honor laptop. However, Magic UI still has a lot of features stored for the users, such as multi-window support for apps, knock gestures to record screen or take a screenshot, split screen mode which I haven't seen from newer phones in a while, and even an app dock that comes out from the edge of the screen. The home screen widgets have been updated as well, where widgets are now turned into cards. Although I wish swipe down to pull notifications to be added in future updates, the features provided by Magic UI have everything but the kitchen sink. But the only thing I wish was better is the cameras. But before we talk about the cameras, let me shortly tell you about this keyboard from EpoMaker. This is the EpoMaker EK68 wireless mechanical keyboard. I've been using it for a few weeks now and let me tell you, this has been my favorite keyboard by far. I switched to a Royal Clutch keyboard solely for typing, but the EK68 has taken over its throne as my go-to wireless keyboard. It supports three connections which are wired via USB-C cable, Bluetooth 5.0, and a 2.4 GHz dongle. You can easily switch between three with the use of a switch on the back, and it's also compatible with both Mac and Windows devices. The 3000 mAh battery can last me up to 1 week of use without RGB lighting, but with RGB turned on, the keyboard only lasts 3 to 4 days. On a wireless connection, I never encountered a drop in connection. However, due to the fact that the EK68 is gasket mounted with sound absorption foams, the typing experience is quiet, soft, and not tiring at all. It's a 65% compact layout, so you don't have the dedicated media keys and function keys up top, but you do get a smooth rotating knob for volume adjustment and a mute switch when you press it. There are also indicators for battery and RGB beside the arrow keys, and the RGB lighting effect supports several modes, including RGB presets like office mode or gaming mode. I highly suggest reading the manual because there's where you'll find the shortcuts and other useful features of this keyboard. You can order this keyboard or other Epo Maker keyboards on their website, Amazon, and AliExpress. The EK68 comes in black purple and black gold color keycaps and 3 different switches. All links are provided in the description below, and thank you Epo Maker for sponsoring this video. Honor X9a is carrying 3 sensors in the back. One is a 64 megapixel main sensor, second is a 5 megapixel ultra wide, and the third is a 2 megapixel macro. In fact, this is the first time I'm going to say that the 2 megapixel macro is doing its job more than the 2 sensors. The ultra wide looks soft and noisy in any condition, which is functional at best, while the 64 megapixel is hit and miss. Sometimes you get a good shot, other times they turn out blurry and overexposed. You can still get good looking photos with the main camera, but most of the time you'll be capturing backup shots just to be sure. Video recording is capped at 1080p at 30 frames for all sensors, which is fine for most people. But for some reason 60 FPS is not available anymore. And to top it all off, the camera app is slow and stuttery. Regardless if you're just switching to another mode or capturing a photo, it's really stuttery in what it needs to do. Perhaps that's the most disappointing part of this phone, but the rest, they're actually good and even great in some areas. Oh, and don't mistake the camera ring like it's a flash or ring light or something, because it's not. The design is unlike other phones out there and I like it, but that's just about it for the cameras. So the Honor X9a, I'm just glad they are now managed by a group of companies, allowing us, the consumers, to enjoy what Huawei or rather Honor has to offer. But if you're buying this phone, either you want a Huawei phone with Google and 5G, or you want this phone because you're not a camera-centric user. Because if you're not one of those, you're probably better looking somewhere else. That's it for this one. Drop a sub or like if you feel like supporting the channel, and as always, until the next one, stay safe.